Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. We have a very special show today as we do a live fan film reaction for the birthday boy Josh, who is in charge of the Avalon universe. He has a fan film coming out in a few minutes called The Needs of the One, and we are going to be reacting to that fan film live as it happens on this channel. And then we have a bonus part of this show as well because we'll be interviewing Josh and Tyler, people from the Avalon universe, and hopefully a couple of other people as well. But those two definitely, I promise you that. With me today is cousin Cheeto. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be here. Cannot wait for the next installment in the Avalon universe.
Yes, likewise, likewise. Major Rage, how you doing?
Doing great. Excited to see the film.
Likewise. And finally, and by no means least, Commodore Boone from Commodore Productions. How you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm doing great, and I'm ecstatic to see this video. Let's go. Roll that video footage. Let's go.
Yeah,
Got 9
I've been
minutes.
waiting a long time.
It can be starting in 9 minutes. We are just a little bit ahead. We just with our little run in because we want to make sure that people are kind of used to us and knowing what they're going to be getting from us prior to the fan film starting. We are going to react to it. We're going to give our honest opinions of it because we don't pull our punches here on Tube. And recently, what the Avalon universe has been showing us is a lot of good stuff. I think nearly everything. I do say nearly everything they've displayed to us. We pretty much enjoyed. We've had good fun, and also we've become good friends as well with people within that group as well. We communicate now and again, and they've been on our channel reviewing television shows like Strange New Worlds and Orville, and some of Star Wars stuff as well, even in the past. So I'm glad to collaborate once again doing this particular fan film reaction. Let's quickly get into some of the comments here. We have Daniel Vance saying, "Happy birthday, Josh." Yes, it is his birthday. I think it's belated now. Well, definitely is for me because I'm several hours ahead of everybody else.
Yeah,
So
in the States, it's still the 28th, which is his birthday.
And I'm from the future, and it's the 29th.
Yes.
So yes. Either way, happy birthday, Josh. Happy belated, Josh. And I very much
Happy
looking forward
birthday.
to giving you a very good review, hopefully, as your birthday present when your film commences in a few minutes. So, anything you guys want to add? I'll start off with you, Cheetah, prior to the film commencing.
I'm very excited for this. The Avalon universe has always been a great piece of Trek fan film. We on this channel, as everyone knows, we've watched a lot of fan films on this channel, especially Star Trek. That's where we got started at. And we've seen some really good, we've seen some really bad, we've seen some in between. Every time every time we have seen an Avalon fan film, they have always been excellently produced and excellently directed. I know we did have an issue with, I think, one set of them, and there were some behind the scenes issues that kind of contributed to that. But we kind of consider that a like a black sheep of, that's not the norm. So I'm really excited to see what they do here. The last two, which was Cosmic Stream and Agents of New Worlds, were really, really good. And they're doing a great job. So I am very, very excited to see this one.
Okay, that by the way, that comment there is from Josh saying thank you, Zam. Thanks, Zam. So yeah.
There
Happy
you go.
birthday. Live long and prosper, Josh.
Yep.
Yes,
Talk to you soon.
And many more to
Can't
come.
wait. Mage, what are you looking forward to in this particular fan film?
I couldn't say if there's any one particular thing I'm looking forward to. I'm, very new to fan films. They're not something I'd ever really watched until I started working with you guys here at NerdTube. I haven't got caught up, but I've watched some of the Avalon universe stuff, and I've really enjoyed what I saw so far. I can't speak to any particulars, having not being current, but I know that there's a level of quality here that's going to be above the usual mark, and I'm excited.
Yeah, the last film they did made. I apologize, the name does escape me, but I was very, very impressed with what we saw. So, yeah, I'm very much uh, looking forward to what they next have to offer. I mean, Josh was using stuff like drones for wide angle shots and stuff like that. It was very impressive. So, yeah, Commodore.
Very excited to see the cast. I mean, every time when you get to see them, they're like friends. You just like seeing the action, see what's going to happen next. There's always something special, always around the corner.
Yeah. Okay. So not long now, just five more minutes. We're going to try and fill up the air. We have seen many a fan film. I want people to know that if you're new to our channel, just have a look at our list of stuff we have in our catalog of videos. We have done fan films not only for Star Trek but for Star Wars as well. A couple of Indiana Jones ones out there too. A variety of different MCU ones and DC ones as well. Um, yeah, we've done so much. It's unbelievable, and we've even done like top tens, our favorite top tens and our worst top tens regarding some of the fan films we've seen. And I'm really hoping that this one will be in our favorite top tens. So yeah. Anyone else got anything to add? Oh, you're on mute, Cheeto.
Yeah. No. No. No.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to quickly comment about this guy here, Glenn. Glenn, if you're listening, mate, we're going to interview people after the fan film. So we're just initially going to be reviewing it amongst ourselves, and then we're going to interview the producers, the actors, the directors, the writers. Once the fan film has been completed, and then we'll happily bring you in, as well as people like Tyler, Josh, and everyone else. So yeah. So just wait in the wings, mate, and we'll add you in. But right now we want to give our yes, thank you very much. We want to give our unbiased opinion on this particular fan film. So I hope you don't take anything to heart once we give our reviews. But I'm gonna hopefully try and be as fair and balanced, and hopefully not upset with what I'm going to be seeing. And I can't wait to see it though. It's going to be starting very shortly. Once again, the stuff Josh has produced recently has been fantastic, next level, and you can see the effort he's been putting in. He's been pulling out all the stops, good costumes as well, because he's been collaborating with certain people like Yep. Okay. Let's quickly just test this link, by the way, just to see if this works for Glenn. I do think it works, mate. I'm going to put you in for a few seconds, and I'm going to take you back out again just to see if it works. All right. Hello, Glenn. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
No problem, mate. So yeah, we're gonna watch this movie, and then we're gonna make sure you stay with us, and then we'll add you in, and we're gonna ask you a lot of questions. 20 questions. We're going to be going good cop, bad cop, medium cop, worst cop on you regarding this particular fan film. And we very much look forward to what you have to say. And
Okay.
also, Glenn, if you don't mind, if you could just share this link around regarding the YouTube link, that is not the StreamYard link.
Okay, I'm actually going to go and watch the preview, so I will be back when it's over.
No problem. If you could just share our YouTube link as well, so people know to come here after the fan film's over, that would be very much appreciated.
Not a problem. I'll talk to you guys later.
Soon, mate. Take care. Okay. So what we got now? Just 1 minute left. Let's get this thing on the screens.
So I like how they have the new. I'm not a big fan of the white medical outfits in like the Discovery era, and I know they eventually go away by TOS, but I'm just wondering because the Avalon universe stuff. Does it take place during Discovery? Because I was under the impression it was up past Kirk's time. So, yeah. I don't know. I was.
Well, it's funny. It's funny because when some of the earlier stuff we've seen, they look like they're wearing TOS uniforms,
Mhm.
but then oh, can you hear? Is there anything to hear, by the way?
I do not hear anything.
Nope.
Oh,
There we go.
how about now?
Yep, I can hear it.
Wonderful. Well, let's push that up a little bit.
Just to prevent buffering.
Oh, the countdown has begun, my friends.
I'm excited. I
Oh
can't
yeah.
Oh yes, we do. I do apologize about the background. Let's throw a good one on there. There we go.
Oh boy, yeah. Major Rage with the good catch.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes, I'm sure. So tiny things will make it through easy.
I'm gonna full screen this bad boy. Hello, Juicy. You enjoying, mate? I'm enjoying, mate.
T-minus 35 seconds.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get my notebook out, which is also my phone.
Yep, got mine out already.
I got mine on my desk.
I'm ready, Teach.
And here we go.
Don't forget to buckle up your seatbelts.
Your shuttle was destroyed 4 years ago. How can you possibly be alive?
Red alert. Take emergency stations.
Can you turn up just a hair, Zam?
This isn't even our ship.
I guess this is where we find out if we're here for a reason.
That better?
Yep.
Help us create the next chapter of the Avalon Universe fan films by contributing to our crowdfunding campaign. You'll find the link in the description of this video.
Support them if you love fan films, definitely.
Yes, most definitely. But that just looks amazing.
Look at that.
That looks amazing.
The quality is insane
Yeah.
for a fan film.
That's a beautiful ship, ain't it?
The needs of the one, but we have the nerds of the four right here. All right. She's gonna kick his ass.
Curiosity.
In more than one way.
The movements in your current workout. They are fast, violent. It contradicts the movements taught in the Kung Fu class this week.
Well, Terran martial arts are extremely diverse. Some are more expressive, as the word art would imply, whereas others are more direct.
Which do you prefer?
I found that there is great value in studying many different approaches, because not one way works 100% of the time.
Logical.
That, and it comes down to instinct, like finding out what works best for you, developing your own game, so to speak.
And yet, choosing the right approach would seem to be best decided through simple physics and anatomy. For example, in a confrontation between the two of us, my superior Vulcan strength should give me a definite advantage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, strength isn't everything.
Please demonstrate.
Is this going to be the Black Widow Happy Hogan moment from Iron Man 2?
He'll purposely get himself into a head scissors.
Head scissors or
As I
something.
said,
That
it's a
old
simple
chestnut.
matter of physics and anatomy.
You ever thought about working in security?
As Vulcans are pacifists, I prefer a vocation in the healing arts.
But you study the fighting arts.
As the Terran expression states, it is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
And as a Vulcan might say, that is logical.
I like that catchphrase. I love that intro.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Shows almost every character.
Been updated since the last one.
Yeah.
Captain's log, stardate 6988.4. After completing our successful rescue mission, the USS Excalibur.
Dude, that's some plump photon torpedo days right there.
The gravitational anomaly in the Cavus
I mean, like,
sector
wow.
and escape Sheliak space. To that end, we will soon traverse through the most intense concentration of hyperonic radiation clouds in the Delur belt. Our shields should protect the crew, but it will require a massive transfer of power from the warp engines. It's also a chance for my new first officer to get some valuable command experience. I have faith in her, and this is a perfect opportunity for her to find that faith for herself.
Good evening, Commander Allenby. We have brought the ship to a full stop and are ready to enter the radiation field at your command.
Gravity plating damage on deck 5, aft, section B.
Nice uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed the badge too.
Mm.
Bridge engineering. What's the good word?
I've transferred the primary plasma flow to the shield grid and the deflector beam. It should be enough to counter the radiation, but we can't overload the emitters like this for too long before we burn
The
them out.
screen overlays on
drop
their
our shields as
monitors
soon
and
as we're
that
clear
view
of the
screen are
radiation.
just
Best case
amazingly
scenario, we'll
done.
only be looking at
Oh,
minor
they're awesome.
repairs.
Yeah.
Thank you,
The
Yoka.
CGI work done to put that
Bridge
in
out.
so clean and so
Are
professional.
you okay, Commander? You appear nervous.
I mean, I've only been dreading this moment since I came on board 2 days ago. My first watch on the bridge, and we're about to take the ship straight through the heart of a supernova.
Oh, the motion
Commodore
picture era.
Chikande's
Fair
playing
enough.
another one of his jokes
Hey
on
Joshua,
me.
what's up?
That would be Chikande for you. You know, he likes to train his newbies by giving them very
I'm interested.
tasks.
This uniform right here, like it's got
Well,
a
it's
collar
a
to it. Like, is
Two-for-one
that
special then, I guess.
something original that somebody made, or is that just a
it's all
variant?
in
Oh,
your
look
head,
at that.
right?
Is it?
You have watched me do this job your whole life. You have the Starfleet IQ, you have the experience, and you have the commission to know that you're ready.
But it doesn't mean that I am ready. If I sit in that chair, then it makes all of this real.
Do you trust Commodore Chikande?
Of course, he's a war hero.
You should trust that he trusts you. And you know that I trust you.
3 days for that one shot.
How can I
Yep.
possibly sit in that chair? It's yours, not mine.
Well, it's time it became your chair.
Is she like,
That's a
is this
big
guy
chair.
like part of her imagination?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a picture of him.
I'll always be with you,
Yeah,
no matter what station you sit in.
and then it'll go back
I
to.
love you.
Yep, everybody's on the bridge again.
Mm-hmm. Nice use of the sounds, by the way.
Attention all hands. This is Commander Allenby. If you'll turn your attention to your screen, you will note our current flight path. We'll be passing through the most dense portion of the Delure radiation field, a phenomenon created in the aftermath of a massive supernova. While we pass through, main power will be diverted to the shields. Warp travel will also not be possible at this time due to the phenomenon created by the intense electromagnetic field. As a result, we'll be going to gray mode GQ3 to conserve power. Please limit all non-essential power usage until further notice. Bridge out.
All decks acknowledging GQ3, Commander.
Commander Shruv, raise shields and set the intensity for 110% of nominal output.
Oh, okay.
110% of nominal output.
They're not
Set a course
fucking around.
directly through the
Yeah,
supernova
right?
remnant to a position approximate of the Cavus Alpha sector. Maximum impulse velocity.
Course and speed are set.
Engage.
I think the makeup on the Andorian's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like it blends really well.
Would be easy to not have an Andorian character just because of the trouble of the makeup and all, but they went there and they did it well.
I mean, and Avalon does usually have a Andorian because they're very.
Security alert urgent.
We'll get into that
Something
later.
is wrong with Nurse T'Pren. She attacked Dr. Estevez with a knife.
What?
Security acknowledged. Commander Williams, I'm on my way.
Nurse T'Pren? That can't be right.
Never underestimate the treachery of Vulcans.
Well, this is off to a great start. I wonder what's next.
Warning. Hyperonic
Yeah, yeah.
radiation levels rising. Lethal exposure levels. Deflector shield output exceeding maximum recommended.
Oh, there he is.
General quarters.
Oh,
now in
there.
effect.
Yep. The Stanley of fan
There he is.
Captain to security.
Security, Menard.
Commander Williams.
I need sick bay secured and on alert as soon as possible.
Aye, sir. Dr. Abel, what happened?
Well, I thought something was off, and then she came at Dr. Estevez with a knife, and she cut her arm.
We're talking about Nurse T'Pren here.
We've never seen her like this. It's like she just snapped.
Okay. Well, we don't want to alarm or spook her. We definitely don't want to hurt her if we don't have to. So I'm going to go in there calmly. I'm going to try and talk to her. And if I need you, I will call for you. Until then, stay on alert.
This is Spock's wife, yeah?
Yeah.
T'Pren. Okay.
T'Pren, everything okay in here?
I'm just cleaning up this mess.
Isn't it illogical to make a mess in the first place?
Uh-oh.
Logic. Logic is a joke told by a culture with no sense of humor.
Oh.
The irony is that repressing our emotion is motivated by fear. Fear of our passions. Fear of ourselves. And logic fuels our arrogance. That's why I joined the Med Exchange program. Because I couldn't stand it anymore.
Why open up about this now?
Because in my arrogance, I thought this condition would never happen to me. That I could repress it like everything else.
Repress? Repress what exactly?
It's called
Ponfar, baby.
Ponfar.
Blood.
Ponfar Agra, baby.
I thought so.
Close enough. We don't discuss it with outsiders.
Every 7 years.
Of course we don't. It would destroy our facade of logic and control.
Or, never mind.
Ponfar is total loss of control.
Is this an illness? Are you ill?
Illness? No. It's a part of Vulcan biology, our drive to mate.
Ah.
We mate or we die.
I can see how that could be a problem.
A problem we typically solve in the safety of our home world, like this ship's previous CMO chose to.
Oh, so then we just need to get you home then.
Well, it's not Spock's
I
wife.
came
All right, fair
here
enough.
to escape what this means for me.
Well, it appears to have caught up with you, and I don't know how to help you.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, that's to Pring. I believe there's not a G on this character's
I've
name, it sounds
always found you to be a man of great compassion.
That's why I carry a phaser.
I
Turned into
greatly
a porn
admired your
flick.
efforts recently, evacuating those injured colonists.
I think we downloaded the wrong Star Trek film.
Just help me.
Deep Space 69.
Admirable. Passion is so admirable.
Hold on, listen. I don't want there to be any misunderstandings between us. Like, you are so beautiful. There's no way I could take advantage of you in this situation.
Ooh.
You know,
the eyes of Galron.
I plan to usually have to consent to something like this.
Do you consent? Kunut Khalifi.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm getting reports about a lot of loud noises coming from in there. What's going on?
Oh, God.
I was ordered by Commander Williams to stand guard. He's been trying to calm Nurse T'Pren down for over half an hour.
For over half an hour.
Whatever he's doing obviously isn't working. We need sickbay up and running. I'm going in.
Uh-oh.
Nurse T'Pren, is everything okay?
Indeed.
What happened to you?
Hostile
Well,
negotiations.
I took Vulcan in high school and passed with a D, and I think I just got married.
You passed with a D, huh?
Yeah, he passed. He definitely passed her with a D.
Alrighty then.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh,
Commander, we are clear of the stellar remnant and the Tau Cygnus star system.
Oh, she's got that Mason
Sickbay
look on her
reports,
face.
no radiation casualties.
Bridge to engineering.
Engineering, Ioka here.
I need warp 8 for as long as you can hold it.
I can give you warp 8.2 for just under 48 hours.
Estimated time to the Cavus Alpha sector at warp 8.2.
47 hours, 12 minutes will take us to the L1 Lagrange point of the fourth planet.
Cutting it right to the edge. Warp 8.2 it is then.
Commander, there's a Vulcan ship approaching on an intercept course. Bashar class.
That's one of their military vessels.
They're hailing us.
On screen.
Ah, the Vulcans.
Greetings, Starship Excalibur. To whom am I speaking?
Commander Allenby, first officer.
I've come for T'Pren. If you can transport her to my ship as soon as possible, we will, as you humans say, be on our way.
I don't understand. Nurse T'Pren is a valued member of our medical staff, and we are on an urgent mission for Starfleet. I can't exactly spare her for a vacation at the moment.
I think you misunderstand me. T'Pren is my wife, and the property of my family. She will be returning to Vulcan with me, permanently.
Oh no, she done the dirty.
Here we go.
Excuse me? No one is anyone else's property.
Perhaps in your culture, this is the Vulcan way. It's a better way. Logical.
Is this the Vulcan way?
I need to at least speak with her first. I can't just release her if she isn't willing to go with you.
I'm afraid you don't have a choice.
Wow.
Commander, they're locking particle weapons on us.
Shields up! Arm phasers!
Shit's about to go down.
Commander, Starfleet Command has been informed of the situation and has ordered your cooperation. I don't think it would be wise for this to become an interstellar incident.
Uh-oh. What's this dude doing?
Receiving
That's the
confirmation
captain.
on those orders, Commander.
I think he's getting ready to intervene, but he's trying to let her
If
handle
you'd be
it.
willing to beam aboard, we
Oh.
can discuss this further and avoid an incident.
The design on the Vulcan
Commander
ship
Sherv,
is
we have the
great,
con.
and like right in line with everything we've ever seen.
I'm loving the music and the sound as well.
Yep.
Like whoever they got to compose this, but it's spot on. They've got the atmosphere just right for every situation. Wow, look at that! Oh, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Dermal regeneration is now complete. How do you feel?
Oh, much better. And I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you for helping me.
Yeah.
Nurse Duprin, please report to briefing room 1.
He's like, yeah, I'm glad I helped you. What are you talking about?
Svan is a powerful Vulcan politician, and he is my husband.
Husband?
He's shitting himself.
Vulcans attempt to bring logic to the challenges of our mating biology through what you would call a dowry, or an arranged marriage. I was betrothed to Svan by my parents when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Wow. I joined the Exo Medical Exchange Program to escape that arrangement. On Vulcan, we have a word for the type of politician that he is, but it would be unbecoming of a Starfleet officer to repeat such a word.
Oh.
Well, I'm not sure how asylum would work here. The Federation Council has ordered us to turn you over to him.
There is a Vulcan ritual that would release me from the marriage, but I would need Commander Williams' assistance and use of the ship's gymnasium.
I'll discuss it with him and keep you updated. Dismissed.
You know where this is going, surely.
It's Kali Fa is the name of the ceremony, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Kalat Malat?
God, he's like Han Solo.
Commander, I've been informed of and accepted the challenge issued by your Commander Williams.
Oh, it is Tyler.
Battle to the death.
What?
Fight to the death.
Do you see Tyler there? One of the two guys at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like he just came out of Chronicles of Narnia.
It sounds very. That sounds very Voyager-esque.
She looks like she's got a lightsaber in her hand.
So I guess you're gonna have to tell the captain about this, huh?
Good morning, Commander. How was your first night?
Pretty uneventful, sir. Commander Williams is dead, and we had an interstellar incident with the Vulcans.
I like that.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, what did I get myself into?
I can't even take T'Pren in sparring. I'm not for sure what kind of chance I have this guy.
Didn't you kill a bunch of Klingons on an away mission a couple years ago?
The more I think about this situation, the more it starts to make sense. I mean, Svan would have known that T'Pren was about to enter the Ponfar, and that she would be more than willing to go with him due to being compromised by it.
Ponfar?
Oh, it's like being in heat.
Oh.
She's thinking Vulcan culture just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
You know, when she said ritual, I thought she meant lighting some candles, some smoke and chanting, doing some Vulcan yoga.
Yeah. Vulcan yoga is awesome.
The hell, she's a ginger now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not choose him as my champion. I will fight for my own freedom.
I see no logic in killing my own mate.
Well, then don't kill
Vulcan
me.
tradition gives me this right. Logic be damned, I'm not going with you. You will have to kill me according to our laws and tradition, or I will kill you.
Very well.
What the hell?
Kick his ass.
No one's going to mention the hair color change. What the hell?
I am very curious about that.
Yeah.
Because it was very dark. I mean, maybe she colored it as a Ponfar kind of, impulsive thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, this is technically a breakup. People tend to make physical appearance changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
I like the sound effects. They're like very original series Hamish. I like it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, those music stings are so TOS fights.
Oh, yeah.
I hope she kicks his ass. There you go.
I've become UFC. I love it. I love UFC. She's got him in the Hell's Gate.
Yeah, she does have him in the Hell's Gate. Literally.
Using tag claws.
Make him tap. Make him tap.
Told you should get someone doing the head scissors.
Save Vunkel. It's like Uncle, but Vulcan.
Vunkel. I get it.
Get him out of here!
Ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. I wonder if some of this was a part of a reshoot or something. That's why her hair's different.
And she was wearing a wig earlier, obviously. That black thing was definitely a wig. You could just tell.
Yeah, but bye, Tyler.
They're not too happy with him.
Narnia.
Simple matter of physics and anatomy.
Nice callback line.
First Officer's Log, Supplemental. The Vulcan ship has set course back to Federation space, and with the excitement of a Vulcan marriage ritual behind us, the Excalibur is on course to resume its mission. Hopefully, with the night
You
shift
hated that
almost
wig.
over, it will be a quiet morning.
He's smiling.
Josh hated that wig, apparently. I'm going to ask him about that. Or maybe... Cora's the Pring, isn't she?
Yes.
I'm going to ask her. She's a medical officer now.
Well, she was before.
Okay, but she's no longer breaking necks. She's mending necks.
Wow, nice uniform.
Thank you. Commander Allenby has sponsored my enlistment into Starfleet.
A smiling
so no
Vulcan.
more
Love it.
civilian.
Med exchange program? No, I'm here to stay.
That's excellent. That's great news.
May I assist you, Commander?
Oh, well, I don't know.
I'm grateful for your assistance.
About that. I was wondering if there's anything here.
She's a Vulcan, mate.
Oh, he's a Vulcan.
Perhaps. However, I think without the pressure of previous events, it might be prudent to
Oh yes,
take a
yes,
step
yes.
back
I agree.
and approach the
Yes, he is.
situation with caution.
So in other words, you're not sure if you want to get into a committed relationship after just getting out of an arranged marriage.
Indeed.
Oh, I get it. Honestly, I'm just happy to help and compassion and whatnot.
Perhaps a human ritual would be acceptable? A shared meal as colleagues?
Lunch as friends? That sounds perfect.
Aww.
Yeah. Like Spock's brother.
There you go. Out they go.
Bravo.
More adventures.
Very good. Very, very good. I had a really good time watching this.
Really good stuff.
Yep.
Acting, sound, direction, graphics. It's
The Needs of the One. Yeah, it makes sense now, the name of the title.
The Needs of the One Night Stand.
Well, I was gonna, before we get the people in and start interviewing them and stuff, I just want to say one of the things that I liked about this fan film was that it's all set on the ship. They weren't like doing away missions and going on planets and stuff like that. It was all done on the ship, which is a nice change of pace for once, and it was a lot more light-hearted. It wasn't too serious. Star Trek does have some of these sort of cultural indifferences, comical sort of episodes at times, and this one definitely sort of represented that. And yeah, I very, very much enjoyed it. It was, and I say this in the most respectable way possible. It was simple and sweet. It didn't have to be more than what it was, and what it was just right. Actually, I would say perfect. Even I very much enjoyed it. The humor was spot on as well. I had a great time with this episode. I very much liked it for what it was. It was very comical, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cheeto?
I really enjoyed this as well. I thought it was great. They blended a lot of elements, and I kind of wanted to call this a bottle episode, but it literally was like it was on the ship. They didn't have to go to different worlds. They didn't have to go on away missions. It was just nice to see stuff happening on the ship, and just an all around good episode. Everybody kind of got their time in the sun. We even got the Stanley of fan films. Vance Major, of course.
Yep.
So Captain Menard, or I'm sorry, Chief Engineer Menard in this. Chief Menard.
So, yeah, with a super cameo.
Yes, his super cameo as always. So,
Mage.
I enjoyed this a lot. Not really knowing who these characters are from previous, episodes or whatnot, I still was quickly able to get a feel of who kind of everybody was at their core. There's is really well written. You got an A plot for the framing device of the commander and her first night in charge, and then the other plot of Nurse T'Pren and everything. And I think it's just like professional quality writing right there. To have something that's so much like just watching an episode of Star Trek with multiple plot threads running convergent that end up meeting up at the end.
I agree. Yeah. Commodore Boone.
It was great to see Engineer Minarda in there. It was great to see him again.
Of course it is.
I haven't seen him there for a while. But yeah, to keep everything inside the ship and do everything inside was great. I mean, it's really great. You see everything in the ship, all the switches, buttons, lights, and everything. Always love that. Always love that.
You're damn right. You managed to stumble onto the right channel. We're the greatest channel you never heard of, and don't forget
That's
to like
right.
and subscribe.
The best one out there, baby.
All I can say is that this fan film production value keeps skyrocketing. Now, we do have several of the cast and crew in our waiting room, and we're going to bring you all you guys in. I hope you guys can all hear me. I'm not going to bring all of you in one go. We want to give you all a chance to shine. So we're going to, first of all, get Cora in. Cora, you ready? Want to give me a little thumbs up to tell me that you're ready? All right, wonderful. We're going to bring her in. Sorry, 1 second. Let's try this one.
Okay.
All right.
There's two. Hold on. All right. Try that now, Sam.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah.
No,
there was a duplicate in there.
We still got an echo.
Wonderful. Yeah, we are getting a little bit of an echo. So let's maybe everyone else can mute their mics, and then when we get a chance to speak, unmute it and I'll mute mine and so on.
I think it's Cora that's actually echoing. So I just muted her.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Cora, first of all, fantastic performance, by the way. Great action scenes, great acting. Thoroughly enjoyed your performance and what you gave to this episode. I've always liked deadpan comedy done by deadpan characters like Vulcans, and you definitely gave off that vibe as well. And I love your chemistry with your co-star, your male co-star, his name does escape me overall. But what was your experience like making this particular fan film, working with Josh, and are you happy with the overall product?
She's very low.
Yeah, you can speak closer to your mic. I can't hear you at all now. I think we're going to bring everyone in. What do you think, guys?
Give me 1 second, guys.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Let's bring you. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Hello and welcome to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of.
Hey everybody, what's up?
Just want to say how much we thoroughly enjoyed what you gave us today. I really loved it. I loved how sweet it was, how funny it was, and how lighthearted it was. It was a breath of fresh air. Everything was done on the ship as well. No, away missions to God knows what and all that sort of stuff. I liked the way it was all just kept contained, and yeah, I very much enjoyed it. Let me fire out a question to yourself, Glenn. You, the producer of this. How did you get on board with this particular show, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I've actually been on board on all of the Avalons, mainly because they shoot at my facility. So basically, I'm hands-on set anytime they're shooting, helping with the sets, props, wardrobe, whatever they need, basically. So yeah, basically, from day one. Josh and I have worked on this together along with Dan Reynolds and all of Josh's other people, and it's been a blast.
Okay. You said you've been working with them since like the very first fan film. Have we ever seen you in these fan films, or have you always just been behind the camera?
Have you ever seen me in a fan film?
Yeah.
There's so many I couldn't even list. I'm probably in more fan films than anybody.
I wish
He's in every fan film.
Why did I not recognize him? I guess he's so dim here. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Were you the guy
Yeah,
in the
I
green
don't know
outfit?
why that it's ambient light in a room, but
Oh, sorry. I'm so
and
sorry.
for the right, you almost never see me say lines. I'm always in the background. If they need an extra here or there. But I've been on.
You're like an Alfred Hitchcock. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I've worked on Phase 2 and Continues, Secret Voyage, Renegades, Pacific 201. I mean, the list goes on and on. You have to look at my IMDb page. I can't even remember them all.
I just want to quickly get to some of these comments here. Strom von Alk says this film had it all: Warren, anxiety, and horny Vulcans. And do we love horny Vulcans here in the Star Trek universe? Cousin Cheeto, you got anything to add?
I mean, that's why I always have my Ponfar Agra right on my nightstand. So, no, I mean, just I guess I'll start off with the dynamic duo there at the bottom, Josh and Tyler. Well, I'll start with Josh. Going into this project, what made you pick this project? Because not that this is a detriment, but it's this is something that's been done many times in Trek. So was this just like something you're like, I really, really in my fan film career want to do this do a horny Vulcan project, or was it like it just kind of came to you and like it just all the pieces fell into place and you're like, this is right where I need this to be in my in my storytelling?
So I've wanted to do this one from the beginning, actually. I mean, this particular story is as old as Avalon Universe itself. And the idea came from, it was originally going to be Mason that this happened to when I first thought of it, because I was trying to come up with an idea that would be different for a love interest. And it's like, well, the captain's always the one conquering the girls. What if the girl conquered the captain? And so it was kind of a way to like maybe flip the script. That's a thing for me, flip the script. Tyler and I are big Cobra Kai fans, so it's like you always want to flip the script. And so just that the film started with just the scene in sickbay. Like that's the first thing that came to me is what if she was ponfaring and do you consent to this? And he's like, well, yeah, and then it kind of branched out from there. And so doing research to kind of develop the idea, I watched Amok Time, Journey to Babel, several Star Trek episodes, and I kind of saw this thing where, and it's not, don't mistake this, it's not a patriarchy thing. It's a logic thing. And so it's a deal where the guys would kind of treat the women like they were property. In Amok Time, they were like, we're fighting for possession of T'Pring, and she would become the property of the person who won. And then in Journey to Babel, Sarek was treating Amanda like she was just like, an ornament. He was like, my wife attend me, when she stopped to talk to Captain Kirk for 10 seconds. And I was like, really, a Starfleet crew would be like, dude, so I wanted to kind of explore those concepts a little bit. And then with the character, what I wanted her to reject Vulcan society. I wanted her to have left Vulcan to embrace emotion and to find out who she is and not what society is telling her to be.
Okay. Zam, you're muted, dude.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm going to read a couple of comments here, then I'll get Commodore Boone to ask a question. Did Jaconde not go to the bridge because he knew she had it covered, or is he suffering some hesitation due to his rebirth? We saw her in a monologue, but Jaconde's?
So what happened there is, for one thing, he never died in Avalon Universe. So Interlude is Axanar continuity. So he died there, but he didn't die in our universe. So he's always been alive here. And there's going to be another Avalon Universe film that explains why that is later. But he wanted to go to the bridge, but he's trying to give Allenby the chance to become the type of commander he knows she can be. And so he thought maybe he should step in, but then he thought better of it. It's like, no, I want to give her the chance to make the big decision. So the whole scenario of her, the watch on the bridge, the supernova, all of this was about her growth as a commander.
And also Warren Hawk lives in Atlanta.
Also, Warren Hawk lives in Atlanta, and we only had him for one day. So,
Okay, Commodore Boone, you got anything to ask these lovely people?
I got a question for Josh down there. I noticed on the badge that you changed it. You put a white circle on the back. Was there a reason for that, or just something different?
What's going on there is, if you think about the timeline of what we think of as TOS, it's only about roughly 7-year time period. And we're in 2271. So
Okay.
we're on the tail end of that. So we're entering into the motion picture era slowly, and the
Right.
changing badges represent that slow change into that era. Now, we're not going to do the pajamas in our films. We're not going to do that. But we're going to change things like the badges, and we're going to eventually have the life support belt buckle thingy going on.
I very much like the fact that you imprinted your vision into Star Trek. I think that's a very good idea, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Major Ray, you got anything to ask these lovely?
Let's talk to these awesome actors.
Yeah. Major, you're on mute, by the way.
You're on mute.
Josh, thank you for the segue. Zam, thank you for the setup. Sorry, I forgot to unmute due to the trouble earlier. I was going to ask a question for the actors, actually. This was a really character-driven episode, and so it gave you all a chance to shine, and you all shown really great performances with natural line delivery. Do you guys have any professional background or high school experience with community theater? What's your background?
Shall we throw that question off to? Let's go to Alexandra.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Just making sure. Yeah, I actually have a Bachelor's of Arts in Theater Arts, Acting and Directing, and I am a theater teacher. But this is only my third film that I've done, so I have a whole lot more theater background. But I've been really enjoying getting into film, and I'm sorry I have a cold, so I sound awful.
Yeah, you sound great. Don't worry about it.
But your performance was wonderful.
Thank you. It's so much fun.
It was great.
Yeah, you look like you're having fun, which is the best part of it.
Yes.
Cora?
Can you guys hear me good now?
Yes, we can.
And no echo. Awesome.
Yeah, my husband has an incredible setup that I am not a techie whatsoever. And he is teaching a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class right now. And I was in here just looking at everything going, oh, wow. My background, mostly stage theater. I graduated college in 2014, so I haven't really done anything since then. But I do tell people that I feel like I'm on stage every day teaching children martial arts. Because if you want to keep them engaged, you got to be it has to be a performance. So yeah, I've done a couple, actually I've done 2 short films and I didn't have to say a word in either of them. So this was my first time to really act on film and actually have a speaking part. So.
Well,
yeah,
I have to.
Sorry, go on, Cheeto.
I was gonna say, well, all I have to say is that if Elizabeth Olsen is never ever available for the Scarlet Witch, you are a very close second because you look a lot like Elizabeth Olsen.
I hear that all the time. So most definitely.
And I'm glad you mentioned the fact that you have a husband who's a martial artist, because I was thinking, what the hell is Steven Seagal doing with her setup earlier on when I saw him come on screen? But now it all makes sense.
That's
Glenn.
Dress up.
Yeah.
Well, look, Cora's modest about it, but she's an amazing martial artist. She's multiple black belts, former cage fighter, the works. I mean, that was a big part of why I've wanted to get her involved for a long time. Is a lot of times when we've done fight scenes in the past, we've had to go take the actors to the martial arts school and teach them how to do the moves. We didn't have to teach Cora anything. It was just like, go through this sequence, and she knew exactly what I was asking her to do and just did it. And she showed up for her huge monologue there. That was the first thing she did, that monologue in sickbay. She showed up off book. She knew her lines. She nailed it in 2 rehearsals. She nailed it in the first take with minimal notes from me. So that doesn't happen very often, especially in fan films. So the same is true of Alex. Alex showed up knowing her lines. We never went more than 2 takes with her. I mean, they made it so easy, and we kept losing Jessica. Jessica would steal the show with just her nonverbals, because I just kept telling her, like, you hate these Vulcans, you know, Andorians and Vulcans don't get along, and she's just like scowling at the view screen, and
I
I'm
noticed
just trying
that.
to bite my lip not to laugh while we're shooting it. She was so great.
I noticed that the Andorian was staring rather aggressively at the screen.
I just told her straight up beforehand, I was like, Vulcans and Andorians don't get along. That's how it is. And so you're always waiting for the other shoe to fall with them. And she, you know, she was marvelous.
By the way,
Glenn, I want to ask you this. Sorry, I want to ask Glenn the same question as well, but very quickly, Daniel Vance has said, who did the fight choreography? Was it yourself, Corey, as you are a trained martial artist?
Well, we looked at the script and Josh kind of coached. We talked about, you know, okay, so, you know, martial arts has very specific terms, especially, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So in the script, it said Toriando pass, to, you know, and it was kind of listed out by Josh. And then I just kind of made sure I was on the same page, and we made little adjustments here and there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I felt that was my first time to film a fight scene, but I think that everything went very smoothly. Josh knew exactly what he wanted from it. And yeah, and everybody who was involved has trained some sort of martial art before. So we were all kind of on the same page, and it was really great.
So I'm going to give credit for choreographing at least a good part of it to a guy named Nathan Murdoch, who Cora knows very well. He's my martial arts instructor. And that sequence that she goes through to defeat Spawn is a classic progression that he teaches in his class, like from the going to the ground to the pass to the choking to the arm bar to the triangle choke. He teaches that. He will textbook teach that progression, and so that's where I got that from. You know, it's interesting, Zam, because you were talking about UFC when we were doing this, and Tyler and I are big fans of the Critical Drinker, who's also from the UK,
Scotland.
and
I'm
always
glad some of
reviewing
us are.
things, and he'll see these fight sequences and be like, and then she fought some very compliant stuntmen. And so
how is this 100-pound woman able to beat the shit out of an adult Klingon male? She had some very accommodating stuntmen.
So what I wanted the fight to be is I wanted the fight to be a chess match, not some sort of elaborate kung fu thing. Because as Cora can tell you, there are high percentage and low percentage techniques. A high percentage technique is something that's easy to do, but easy to defend against. A low percentage technique is something that's really hard to do, but really, really easy to defend against, or very hard if it does land. So you see a lot of this kung fu stuff that happens in the Matrix or whatever. If you tried to fight like that in real life, it just looked like bad boxing. It would never work.
Yeah, for sure.
Really, what you're seeing in elaborate martial arts on TV is dancing. It's not real. It never looks like that.
Yeah, it's WWE, mate.
And so we wanted. Now look, we're not on a spaceship. There aren't phasers. There isn't warp drive. Okay, none of it's real. But I wanted to do a fight scene that was a little more representative of what martial arts really is like. And so if you were to watch two people spar, it would look more like what you saw there. And if a woman was to defeat a man who is much physically stronger than her, it would have to be through a skill level progression like what she did.
Glenn, just to continue with Major's question regarding any sort of background in acting. I know you obviously play a background character, but do you have any acting background yourself, mate?
Absolutely not, which is why in my series and anything that I'm director or producer of, I don't cast myself. other than if the need arises for an extra. Actually, the only one who gets me to do lines is Josh, because I played the captain for him one time, and thankfully he killed me. So that's so. But no, I've always been interested in the process. You know, building, sewing, you know, making electronics work, that kind of stuff. I'm much more the creative person than the performer.
Glenn is in this film. Guess
I am
where?
in this film.
Can you guess where he was? He was in one shot.
Alex knows.
I'll have to watch it again. You know,
He's the gray alien at the navigation console.
Okay.
He's
It
in
was
one
my
shot.
best
He's in the
performance.
he's kind of out of focus in the foreground, but he's a Roswell gray alien who is navigating the ship.
I'll have to watch it again to keep an eye. I mean, it's a shame Jessica's having some connection problems. I would like to ask, maybe one of you guys can answer this question for me regarding her makeup process and how long that took.
It's a lot
Anyone?
simpler than you would think it is.
Yeah.
You just have to paint her blue, and then there's a fake wig, and the antennas belong to Glenn, and they're motorized, and they kind of move, but when they move, they make this sound. They're like, and so whenever I would have like a really good take with her, but you'd hear that. So I'd have to go to a different take and pull the words from a different take and kind of transplant them onto that take to get rid of the noise of her antennas moving.
Fair enough. Just so you know, I'm no longer. I used to be a big fan of Critical Drinker, but I'm not anymore. Unfortunately, I call him the Critical Wanker because he's a bit of a sexist pig. Anyway, any of you other guys, by the way, got some questions here for these lovely cast members.
So my daughter did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a couple years. I'm not going to say I know anything about it, but like, what's the difference between when like going from a child doing it to like for an adult? Like, is it more based on offense? Because mostly they teach kids like the defense and being able to defend yourself and stuff like that. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu more seemed like it was more for defense. Is it the same? Like, basically, you don't start the fight, but you definitely will end the fight. Is that kind of where where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu goes, or is there actually more of an offensive moveset to that?
Are you aiming that question at me? Or
Yeah,
not?
sorry. Yeah.
He's the best person to answer it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, So honestly, I believe that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can be very, very effective. However, most instructors, and I feel like any good-hearted martial arts coach is going to say that this is a self-defense. However, you can definitely make Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a very offensive art, especially because it engulfs judo as well. And so the moment you touch somebody, yeah, you're getting thrown, you're going on the ground. And I prefer to be a very offensive player in my jiu-jitsu because I'm a female. And I don't want to play defense. I don't want to defend myself from these men that, are 240 pounds because that I'm always playing catch up. So the moment we slap hands about this, it is an offensive game. I want to be on top. I want to be the person setting the pace because once I get on bottom, it's not a good time for a woman who is also going against people who are skilled, who are large and skilled in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. People who are large and unskilled, not a problem. I'll play around, play defense, let them work. But the moment they're large and skilled, no, I want to be playing offense 100% of the time.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best thing that you can learn to defend yourself. For anyone, but especially for women, it is the best martial art to learn. If you only learn one, that's what you should learn. And that was kind of part of the point that we were trying to make here a little bit, is that you're not going to defeat somebody who's a threat to you with a bunch of fancy kung fu. It's going to be the jiu-jitsu that's going to be your best option. And so, and then Cora, who knows it so well, sold it. Made it look exactly like it would in real life.
It's the best choreography for a fight I've ever seen on a fan film.
Thank you.
Alexander, I don't want you to feel too left out here. You said you've made only 3 films. Have they all been in the Avalon universe, or have you done other stuff?
Who is that directed at, Sam?
Alexandra?
To Alex. This is her first film with us.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Really?
This is my
She
first
seems.
one with
Why
Avalon.
she seems so familiar? Like I've seen her before. Have you been in other fan films or something?
No.
Have you been on anything I must have recognized you on, because there's a familiarity with you for some reason. I don't know why.
No, I've only done like some student-based films. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
Maybe you think I look like Emma Stone. I get that one a lot.
Okay, but
we got Elizabeth Olsen and Emma Stone. I mean,
yeah, we can't go wrong here, can we? But I guess this. I mean, it seems like you're going to be set up for more films working with Josh in the future. I hope I'm not putting my foot in it by saying that, but I mean, it seems like you're going to be a stable part of this universe. Is that correct? Will we see you in the future in other films?
She's the main character.
Yep.
Okay, well, it's hard to know. I mean, it's the first fan film with you guys. You know, I mean, all of a sudden she's the main character, for Christ's sake.
She's Zam. She's playing the same character that Pixie played.
Okay.
And actually,
All
that
right, fair.
segues into my next question for Alex. So coming into this, and there's been other people that have played this character in the past. How did you kind of take this character and adopt it into your own, yet honoring what came before? Like, what was your mindset going into it? Were you just going to completely make it your own thing, or were you going to try to make some hybrid of a merger character?
I honestly made it my own thing, largely based off of Josh's vision for the character. So, yeah, I really didn't look too deeply into what Pixie, the previous actress, had done. That way, my performance was more in line with the overall vision that Josh had for Matilda.
I feel like Alex played what needed to be. She played a much more mature version of the character, and even though Michaela Allenby is a adventurous spirit, she is going to transition into being someone who is in a leadership role. And I feel like Alex brings a much more mature presence to the character. This is a person that we can see being a scientist or being a captain or being whatever else, because we can believe in that. She has this presence about her that sells, this is a person who could be a leader. This is a person that could make the tough decisions that you could follow. She just had a presence about her that I think took the character to a new and better place.
Zam, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I just want to quickly tell the chat here regarding these lovely people we have with us today to ask your questions to them. So first of all, Daniel Vance has got to say this. Can we expect more from everyone in the future? All we need is a Pixie, and we're real close to an all-woman. Yeah, well, let me just forget that last line. But yeah, can we expect more from you guys in the future? I mean, when's your next film coming up? We're already eagerly waiting for it. I mean, if this is the sort of stuff you're producing for us right now, Josh, I'm gagging for the next piece of Avalon Entertainment already. I can't wait.
Well, thank you. It's not going to be long.
Yeah.
And this that we've got another film that we've shot like about, I don't know, 60% of it. We have two shooting days, 2 very simple shooting days left with Tyler. It's going to be called Knights of the Void. There was a little teaser for it at the very beginning. And that's hopefully going to hit around Halloween. First of all, Pixie's never coming back. We don't need to get into that. It really doesn't serve anybody to talk too much about it, but it didn't work out. Yes, look, Avalon Universe is it's really about. Somebody said to me when I showed them a link, they said, put Kirk back in Star Trek. And I'm like, you know what? I like Captain Kirk. Everybody likes Captain Kirk, but here's the thing.
I don't.
Captain Kirk has had
I
enough.
love Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk has had enough screen time. Captain Picard has had enough screen time.
Yep.
You know, it's time for other people and other kinds of people to get screen time these days.
Yep.
That's just the long and short of it. And I have a 12-year-old daughter, and she's the most important thing to me in the entire world. And I want her, you know, when she was a little girl, it was like, what are we going to get her? We're not going to get her Barbie. We're going to get her, you know, Colonel Samantha Carter and Captain Janeway. You know what I mean? Those were the kind of role models I wanted to put in front of her. I want her and others like her to be able to look on screen and see women leading and go, I can be anything when I grow up. Now, she may want to be a chiropractor. She may want to be a WWE wrestler. It doesn't matter. It's whatever she wants to do. But I want her to know she can do anything that she puts her mind to. And that's really the long and short of it. Is that's my creative motivation. That's why I named the character after my daughter. So.
Okay. I want to throw a question now to Tyler, because you're in the background right now, like you were in this episode today. And why did you play a background character who looked like he just came off the set of Chronicles of Narnia? Maybe you can answer me that question.
Because this guy asked me to.
You know, did you have too much on your plate to play a more full-on role, play your Mason character, or was he
No,
not?
we haven't gotten to that yet. Well, I mean, like Josh said, we've shot half of the next Mason-centric film, the next Mason and Archer story, and like you said, we've got a couple shooting days left, but we had to get this done first. And I was like, hey, if this day or that day that he was shooting, I was like, hey, I'm off that day. Do you need help? Is there anything I can do on set? Behind the scenes, behind the camera, whatever. He was like, hey, I need you to be background. You're going to be a Vulcan guard. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I still had the big bushy beard, and he was like, and so once we got the makeup done with the eyebrows and the ears, and I thought the same thing when I looked in the mirror. I was like, holy shit. He was like, dude, you look like a cyborg. I was like, you're not wrong. But I'm not above doing background. I enjoyed it,
I just thought it'd be funny. I thought people were like, is that Tyler in the background? He's your other lead character who's not even there, but he's in the background, and people be like, is that Tyler? I just thought that would be a fun thing to do,
And I'm just waiting for all the fan theories. Like, does Mason have a separated birth Vulcan half brother or twin or well, that would.
Ooh, it could be Macebach instead of Cybok. Macebach.
So he doesn't have a Vulcan half brother, but he does have a Klingon half brother, and you're gonna meet him.
Oh. That sounds amazing.
Spoiler alert.
Oh no.
You ever gonna get Menard in a more bigger role than what we usually see him in, because I actually expected him to be in. I heard he was doing. We were talking, and he told me he was doing some filming for you guys and stuff like that. And then boom, like blinking, you miss him again. We're going to get him in a more prominent role in the future in the Avalon universe.
Yes, because what's been going on there is that his wife has been going to school, and so he's been waiting. She is now a nurse, and so he was waiting for her to finish up with that. And either late this year or early next year, he's going to come down and shoot with us for a couple of days.
Cool.
Oh, lovely.
Sounds good.
All right. Couple of Boone, you got anything to ask?
Yeah, I noticed, and this is a question to Josh down there. I noticed that the Commodore was in his quarters while his commander was handling the bridge. Was that like a test or something?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what was going on. Is his secret that he's not telling Allenby is that he wants her to get promoted to captain at some point. And now, you harken back to the character. She was talking to, her sort of, she's talking to her dad in her head at the beginning,
right?
Because her father's, of course, passed, and so she's, you know, in her mind having a conversation with her father before she sits in the command chair. He's like this legendary Starfleet admiral, so everybody's like, well, of course she's going to be a captain. You know what I mean? Right. And nobody's really asked her if that's what she wants. Everybody just sort of assumes she'd be a great captain. And so Jakande is kind of in that mindset too, where he's like, she'd make a really good captain. So he's kind of throwing her into the fire to see what happens. And he almost intervenes, but he's like, no, I got to let her handle this on her own. And she does. She does it well.
All right, great job. Love it.
Major Ray, you got anything to fire at these lovely people?
Yes. Glenn, haven't heard from you in a minute. I was really impressed with the music. Who is you guys' composer?
That would be Adam Mullen, I believe, composed this one. I actually honestly don't know him, but you know, Josh has brought him in on several of his films, so maybe Josh can give you his background, but he's a wonderful composer.
Let's have Tyler talk about Adam.
Oh my goodness. Well, he was first brought in on Cosmic Stream, right? So I had seen most of Cosmic Stream many times. Josh showed me the first 5 minutes and the last 3 minutes, like 8 minutes of it, everything except for the flashback, a couple months before we released. And, and it wasn't long after that you showed me the flashback too. So I had seen all of it, and I watched it so many times with no music. Without the music, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I love this. This is great. Yeah, it's really good. I watched it over and over and over and over. But then when I watched it with the score, with the music, that's when I got emotional. I actually, for the first several times that I watched it, I couldn't help. In both the sick bay scene and the scene where Mason and Cole see what their daughter would have looked like. In both of those scenes, I would cry. I would actually get tears in my eyes. I couldn't help it because of the music. I never had that effect on me before with watching it without the music, but then with the music in it, then I'm like, when it shows the little girl and it's playing like this little kind of chime, like toy piano kind of sound, it just that made me emotional. I was like, this guy is awesome. So
we have Adam Mullen in the chat. I'm wondering if you could join us here.
I call him our own personal. He's Avalon Universe's Jake Warner.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was about to say John Williams, but yeah, fantastic. I honestly, like, people really underestimate how important a good musical score is for any sort of media, and you knocked out the park. You really did, mate. You really did. I did Air and Demons as well as Legacy before Cosmic Stream.
Oh, right. That's true. What I love about Adam is that he's giving Avalon its own unique sound. There's definitely a Star Trek influence to it, but it's its own thing. It's a unique Avalon universe. And if you listen, the characters have themes. Allenby has a theme. And almost every time she's on screen, you hear some variation of it. T'Pren had a theme. The love between T'Pren and Williams had a theme. And so if you really pay attention, these themes are through lines, through everything, not just in this episode, but they're callbacks. The very first shot of the film is a callback to the end of Agent of New Worlds, and it's the same music and it's the same final shot. So that, says, okay, we're picking up exactly where we left off. It was helpful, I think, because again, we recast a lot of our people. It was something that really helped us make that transition. It worked so well. Adam is a genius, and it would blow your mind to know how fast he does it. Like, he knocks these scores out in an amount of time that just is like, wait, what? You did the whole score in like 2 weeks? Unbelievable.
That's a turnaround.
Yeah.
I got a couple of questions for Cora. First of all, that tattoo, is that the real deal on your left arm?
Tis the real deal. I was a little worried about it, and they were like, "No, that's cool. It's a Vulcan tattoo." So I was like, "Great."
It is now a Vulcan tattoo. Nice.
Yeah, honestly, it's got that sort of futuristic sort of look about it anyway. So in my opinion, it worked. So that was a pretty cool thing. And what's going on with the hair? 1 minute you're a brunette, and then now you became a redhead. What was all that about?
So, a lot of that ties into the character development of T'Pren. Basically saying, I'm done trying to look like the Vulcan, talk like the Vulcan, and be what the society that I'm from is telling me how to be. And that's part of the reason why she's not on Vulcan anymore. That's why she's away doing something different. So yeah, and also that wig was rough. That was a rough wig. Like, hair, somebody fix the hair. And then he thought about it and was like, yeah, no, this is character development right here. She's going to look and she's going to decide to become who she wants to be, not who Vulcan society tells her she's going to be.
So I was right.
I would
It was an impulse change after.
I would like to just come into
Pon-farm.
that room though, like grab her wig and throw it on the floor, and then
Yeah.
in front of her husband.
So-
I mean, that would have been pretty cool.
So she's
Like,
holding this. She's holding a thing you described as a lightsaber. Like,
yeah.
If you watch these TNG episodes, they have these like wands and weird stuff, and they change people's hair with just like magic wands or whatever.
Yep.
And so I said to Glenn, "Give me a tool. Just give me a tool." And he just handed me that. And okay, you're holding this. Look in the screen. You're contemplating this big change. And so it's one of those things. We're not trying, again, Zam, you talked about this in the previous film. We're not trying to spoon feed the audience. They need to kind of think for themselves to figure out what's going on here. And so there are two things in play. I hated the wig.
Yeah, you
Glenn
mentioned that earlier.
Glenn was like, I can just give you a different wig. But Tyler goes, well, hold on. Because in a previous film, we had a Vulcan character that didn't wear the wig, and we got a bunch of criticism for that. He goes, it's more authentic with the wig. Let her start off with the wig. So I'm like, okay. So we did the wig, and then it was like, okay, when she does the fight, right before the fight, she's going to change and embrace her humanity and her new identity. And that way, we didn't have to keep putting it back on in the fights.
Yeah, that's quite clever actually. I like the sound of that. But yeah, and now you mention it to me, I did need a little bit of spoon feeding. I'll be honest with you, but now it all makes sense for sure. But yeah, to my fellow co-hosts, if you've got any more questions you would like to ask these lovely people.
I have a question for Cora and Alex. If you're a Trekkie, which just because you're acting in Trek does not mean you have to be a Trekkie, in my opinion. But what is your favorite Trek? We'll go to Alex first, and she's up higher.
I mean, I do really like the episodes like with Captain Kirk. But as an actor, I do prefer Picard. I think he's a much more talented actor. And just the other stuff that I've seen him in as well. So for that reason, I do really like that one too.
He's British, I understand.
There's that.
Yeah.
Man,
He's
British
French
actors.
Cora?
I am not a Trekkie, but I will say this. I love when people love things. I actually follow a band like across the country and to other countries even. And the first thing, like when I came on set and saw the love that everybody had for Star Trek, I instantly understood it, admired it, thought it was awesome, thought it was beautiful, and was really excited to get to be a part of that culture. But my husband and I, when Josh talked to me about this role, we started watching Star Trek, and it's not that I didn't. It just wasn't around in my household, so it was just not something that was on my TV at the time. Of course, I knew, the main characters, but I honestly Didn't really grow up with it, and I don't really have like a favorite or main character. I will say that because I am an ultra emotional person, I have very high energy. It was very difficult to play Vulcan, because I am just the exact opposite of that. 100%. But so I'm not going to tell you a favorite character. Yes, I've watched the episodes, but I feel like I would just be throwing a name out there. But again, just like totally love to get to be a part of something where people loved what they were doing. And it was really apparent when I was working with all these people, the knowledge and the love and the appreciation. It was super cool and just an honor to be a part of.
Thanks, Cora. Hey, we've got Jessica. Let's talk to Jessica for a minute.
I'm gonna get to Jessica one second. I just want one follow-up question, please. How does somebody who's not a Trekkie end up being on something that is Star Trek?
You rub elbows with the right people. That's what you do.
Right? Lucky talks about way too much Walker Texas Ranger with her husband.
Fair enough. Jessica, welcome to the stream. Finally, I heard you had some technical issues, but lovely to see everyone with their pets. I'm calling my big fat juicy bird, but she's not coming right now. She's hiding behind the curtains because it's quite late and I've got some lights on. She's a parrot, just in case you're wondering what I'm on about. But Jessica, how was it wearing all that lovely makeup?
It was great. It was like the best diet I've ever been on. I couldn't really touch anything. I had to have other people like pull up my pants. Like I felt very pampered.
The
And I was like,
Andorian
sorry,
diet.
I can't touch anything. Can you help me? But it was really fun.
And what's it like having motorized antennas on your head?
Nah.
I'm curious about
I wish
that.
we would have left them on. They actually moved, but they were so loud. I told them it sounded like it was like scanning my brain. But the technology was amazing.
Have we seen you on Star Trek projects before, if you don't mind me asking? Have you always played that Andorian character? Okay, so we're hoping to see more of this particular character in the future.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see a standoff between her and
she's
and
in every
Vulcan.
film, so the character's written into everything we're doing. So we'll definitely see her. And again, I said this with her not around, but I feel like every scene she was in, she was stealing the show with her nonverbals. You know, that scowl. Like I had to bite my lip not to laugh because of that scowl that she was given the view screen. It was so perfect. And then every time somebody come over and we'd be looking at the scene and be like, oh God, look at what Jessica's doing. It's hilarious, you know? So I loved every inch of her performance. It was so perfect.
Top-notch mugging, for real.
Top-notch mugging.
That's one of the industry terms, Cheeto.
Yeah. No, I know. I just
mugging.
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 You know what mugging means? Like the slang for mugging in my country, like somebody stealing something from you, like off the street.
Well, that's
you've been mugged
here. Yeah, that's that is international waters right there, Sam. I mean,
okay. Oh, sorry, sounds kind of Britishy, so I'm very surprised that you guys use it over there.
So
all right, fair enough.
real quick, we're coming up on an hour and 20 some odd minutes out from the release, and we're at almost 600 views according to Google Analytics.
Wow,
fantastic!
That's good,
mate. I would sell my soul for 600 views right now. I'll tell you the truth, honestly. You know,
I know, but
I'd sell it to Satan himself, even though I don't believe in him. I would sell it, right now. Give me 600 fucking views.
Oh God!
Because, as I tell people, with the greatest channel they never heard of. But yeah, so very good.
Oh, I just want to say to everybody on the panel here, you guys did a fantastic job. The Avalon universe is, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, is just as good quality, probably better in my opinion, than even the original TOS. Obviously, technology's come a long way. He
loves shitting on TOS. Cheeto.
I do.
You know what I mean?
I love shitting on TOS. I respect it, but I appreciate like the modernization of things as well. Like you can't look at something from the 60s and then compare it to today and not have a little bit of leeway there. So and I'm glad you guys are using great sets, great characters, great uniforms. I mean, Captain Mason is still one of my favorite captains of all time. Still. So, and I can't wait to see where all these other characters go. Every time you guys come out with a fan film, I'm getting more and more invested in it, and I'm, trying to. I'm digging more and more into it, and I'm really digging it. I mean, a lot. So I'm really glad you guys are doing this. The production is fantastic. The VFX or the CGI is fantastic. The script writing is fantastic, and the actors are awesome. I mean, they really knock it out of the park. So you guys really, really do have a great cast and crew, and everything that just it's kind of like the perfect storm type scenario.
Yep.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, and I want to speak from the heart just for a second. This film in particular, and Avalon universe as a whole, could have really died a horrible death at this juncture. It really could have. And I was in a bad place, and I didn't know how we were going to make it through. And these three actors who are with us really, really stepped up and saved this fan film franchise. These three people here with us, they put their heart and soul into it. They came on board knowing, I was very honest that this is a project with baggage, and this is what you're stepping into. They did the work. They committed. They saved this. They did it. I just showed up and turned the camera on. They did the work. And honestly, like with regards to Cora, I didn't think I had a shot at her being in this. I thought, oh, she's too cool to be in this. You know what I mean? Like I asked Brian, I was like, do you think she'd be interested in doing this? And I fully expected like, oh, she's too busy kicking everyone's ass or whatever. Because she's cool, man. She's cool. Yeah.
Well,
I'd met her before. Like we train in the same network, and she's cool. And I figured she was too cool for this. And so when she did it, it was like, this is awesome. Like I wanted her to be a part of this for a long time, and to finally have that, it was really neat.
I want to say like the best compliment I can make for your fan film is that there are times when I forgot I was watching a fan film. I just felt like I was watching an episode of Star Trek or whatever it may be. And that honestly is the best compliment I can give you when you realize that you blurred the line so well, in every department with your acting, with your set design, costumes, musical score, lighting, special effects. I mean, honestly, fantastic beyond belief. It really was. You should give yourself a pat on the back. All of you guys, not just Josh, a whole bunch of you. Like you honestly, like you bring all these elements together, and you just made something so wonderful. And I'm already looking forward to the next episode. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
And you're lovely people as
that
well.
That really is the best compliment you could give, because I mean, I remember when I watched the Star Trek Continues episode Lolani. That's what I thought. I thought I didn't just watch a fan film. I just watched a Star Trek episode.
Right.
And that's what I always wanted to be a part of. So to hear you guys say that it's the greatest thing anyone could ever say to me. And again, it was because of these people. It was because of someone like Alex, who has the courage to take on a role like that. Who, look, when she auditioned, she had already done her research. She already knew what she was auditioning for. And the reason that I cast her is because I could tell she wanted it. She understood the character. She took direction. You could just see that passion there. And so I was like, it was undeniable to me. It was like, this is the person right here. With Jessica, she's like she is right now, man. She's just such a high energy, happy person. And she's like, I want to be the blue alien. You know what I mean? The blue alien is such a big deal to me because I love the blue alien. That's like one of my favorite characters. So to have that Amazing. Credit to this guy right here. I want to talk about him for a second, even though he wasn't really in this film. And I'm going to be
about me. They're the stars.
I'm going to well, listen. I'm going to be very clear about something here. Out of all the people who have been involved with Avalon Universe over the past 4 years, no one has had a harder time than Tyler. Tyler he's had the shit beat out of him over the past 4 years in various different ways. People have treated him very badly, and he has had the most difficult journey by far. Even I have not been a very good friend to him sometimes during this. He's still here. He's still supporting this. And he's the person with the most reason not to be here. But he's here. And he is a ride or die friend. And he always has been. And I wanted him to be there while we were filming and be a character just because I wanted him there. I wanted him on set with me because he's my friend. And the support he has given me as a friend, there's almost nobody else in my life who's ever supported me like that. And there are people involved who have been involved in this project in the past who have been given so much more than he was. In the instant they stopped getting their way, they were gone. And I think that speaks to his character. Glenn, how much have I put Glenn out over the years? How much work have I made this guy do? He shows up to every shoot. He works 12-hour days. He does pre-production. He does everything from make costumes to spell check the script to keep us on time to costuming everybody. He really is a superhero. And those sets you love, guess who built them? It was Glenn.
Well,
This happened because of everybody else.
Hats off to you, Glenn. What you created was amazing. Honestly, words don't do it justice. What you've created, it's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you, and thank you, Josh. And I would do that for everyone who comes to the sets. But of course, everyone knows by now. I think that you and I are good friends. But you know, I do the same thing for anyone who comes out here and shoots. It's in my nature to help, and I love to create.
And I'm not going to compliment Glenn without pointing out how much Dan does too. He's unfortunately not here at the moment, but Dan, you want to talk about a guy who goes out of his way. You know, Dan acted in the movie. The bridge set is in his facility, and he was a host to all of us, treated us like royalty, rolled out the red carpet. Dan made all those badges. Those new badges he designed and made all of those badges. And Dan acted in the film, and he was amazing.
I have a question from Chris Donovan. Any relation to you, Tyler?
I don't know who that is.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Will we ever see the Excalibur with the Phase 2 style refit nacelles?
Nope. No, we won't. Because what's going on is that the evolution of events in Avalon Universe is different than Prime Universe. So it's going to have its own, like with the uniforms, we're not going to wear the pajamas. Same with the ship. The ship is going to change, but it's going to change differently than it does in the Prime Universe because the point of divergence is the M5 computer battle. And the farther we get away from that, the farther we're going to see the two universes diverge from one another.
This gentleman here who's got an unpronounceable name, but I'm just going to call him Jay, says, "Well, that film was magnificent. My compliments to the cast, crew, and everyone else involved." And that's pretty much what everyone's saying. This person says this was an amazing episode. It all comes together in a very professional way. And Chris Donovan says The Predator. I don't know what he's on about there. Maybe there's some new sort of fan film we'll be making in the future. And yeah, so those are some of the comments we've been getting regarding. Oh, there we go. Cousin Cheeto says some could say Tyler is tough to kill. And when we're going to be getting a sequel? When we're going to be getting
Tough to Kill too.
I
or
would
too
love to see.
tough to kill.
I would love to see all of you guys in
we
Tough to
may
Kill.
just remake it from scratch because there's a film company called Zeta 4 Films that is wanting to create some more short films for a series they're doing, and so they've offered to kind of fund a better version being made that's not a fan film, that's more something they can actually do something with. So we may just remake Tough to Kill, which if nobody knows what we're talking about, Tough to Kill is a film we made 10 years ago. It's not a Star Trek film. It's a parody of 80s, 90s action movies like Rambo and Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal kind of stuff.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. It's just like the stupidest. It's like all the stupidest tropes. And then Lethal Weapon. It's just the dumbest. It's the stupidest thing you've ever seen. It's a really stupid movie.
We've since we made it, we feel like our films are getting, well, I'd say your films, but keep getting better and better. We look back on Tough to Kill and laugh, like what a pile of shit. And we had Sam and Cheeto watching, hoping that they would. No, Cheeto wasn't there for it. Great. But,
I don't believe I was there, but I watched it. I watched it
because we wanted something. We see you guys ripping apart. Some of your funniest stuff is when you hate something. That's reaction videos are hilarious when you watch something terrible like Cloud City Chaos.
Oh yes, we ripped the shit out of that, didn't we? Absolutely ripped it.
So we were hoping that you guys would just tear it all to hell, but you just laughed.
We loved it because it made us laugh. It was it was just so well done. It was funny. You didn't guys take yourself too seriously, and you had a good pacing to it and everything. It was hilarious. And
we're just goofing off, making a movie.
Yeah, but sometimes when you
I was trying to be a very menacing bad guy. And,
But sometimes when you strip away all the like back when you first start and you're still raw with what you want to do and everything like that, sometimes that is like where you discover some of the unfiltered shining moments. Like as Zam said, it made us laugh. It was goofy as hell and it just worked. But we're not talking about Tough to Kill. I just was bringing that up just because I thought it was a funny reference to Tyler and you and deep cut. We'll call it a deep cut.
Real quick, I'm gonna have to take off. But real quick, acknowledgement to the others who aren't here, who were key in making this film what it was. Blake's performance, Wade's performance. They were both troopers, as were the rest of the cast. Nobody ever complained about anything. Everybody stayed late when they had to. Did what they had to do, knew their stuff, knew their lines. And is it Anna?
Anna,
Anna, and the other guy. Anna did a lot of the makeup, and the other guy, Chris. Chris.
So there were three makeup people. There was Michelle, who is the key makeup, and she did the lion's share of everything, especially the Vulcans. Then there was Chris, and he specializes more in VFX type makeup, so he was really into the ears and all that kind of stuff. And then Sophia, who's Chris's daughter, helped, and she's actually the one that did Jessica. Sophia did that. And then Anna, who is a very close friend of Blake, she just kind of came with Blake, and then just because she was there, stepped into the makeup department, and then just went, okay, this is my thing now, and then was showing up at every shoot doing makeup. So we had like a really amazing makeup department that was just on it. So
she kept reminding me how dry my skin is and how much I need to moisturize.
Everybody tells it.
The stars aligned definitely for that particular episode for sure. Any more questions, guys? As we're getting to the 2-hour mark. Mage, you got anything to ask?
I had just one more question. I am blown away by you guys' CGI. Who does your rendering, and what program do they use?
So there are several different things going on there. If you're talking about like the spaceships, for example.
Primarily, yes.
Okay, so that's Sam Cockings. I know that Zam is a big fan of Sam Cockings.
Zam loves him.
Yes. I want to give Sam, if you're watching, I want to give you all my money, mate. I'm gonna give you all. I'm empty my fucking pockets for you. Give you every fucking penny I've got, mate. All right. Next time you're on fucking Trek Yards.
All joking aside, Sam is actually like he is an amazing CG artist, and he's very widely used in fan films because everybody likes his work. So he did all of the spaceships and stuff. I think he's done everything but one shot for all of Avalon Universe. And he came through in a big way this time. Was very quick, like Adam. He did his job, turned it around in less than a week. As far as the spaceship shots, the second thing is, and I know Mage, you talked about this, compositing.
It's very hard to do right, but it looked professional quality.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I'm going to take credit for. I did that. So
I just want to add that regarding Sam, even though I do take the piss out of him because I'm not a big fan of him constantly begging all the time, I will admit his CGI work is fantastic. And I will always say that regardless of how I feel about him.
So anyway, the compositing, I did that, so if you look at the view screen, or look at the bridge, only a few of the screens had stuff on them when we shot, and a lot of it is me adding stuff in post, like that view screen shot where you were commenting on. That one shot of the view screen was like 3 days of just working on that one shot with the compositing and all the different layers and the overlays, and because I didn't just do the main viewer, I was doing all of the side panels and everything as well, that I'm making it move. And I actually completely changed how the shot was lit, because I lit that shot very bright to be used in several different fan films. So I made it dark to match the bridge, and even that took a couple of hours. So the compositing is the one thing I'm going to take credit for, because I spent a long time. The thing I'm the most proud of with regards to that is something you didn't see, and that is that at the dojo we shot at, which is like a block away from my house, great place, one of my favorite places in the world, but there are 21st century wall outlets all over the place. And it took me 2 weeks to get rid of them. So I spent 2 weeks just painting out the wall outlets. So if you look very closely, you can see one wall outlet in one shot in a very tiny place. It's fuzzy, and I left it there on purpose. I'm like, but the wall outlets were all over the place, and they are gone now.
Called the one wall outlet an Easter egg.
There you go.
Commodore Boone, you got anything to ask these lovely people?
Only thing I can say, cast and crew did a great job, and you guys need a big hand for all that. Did a great job.
Yeah,
can't wait,
I'm gonna give you a big
can't
hand.
wait for the next
both
episode.
my big hands. Bigger than Donald Trump's. There we go. Cheeto, you got anything to ask before we wrap this up?
Nope, just echoing what everybody else said. I mean, I already said it. I mean, great job. Great. I really feel a lot more invested with the characters in this film, actually. Not that they weren't as before, but the more I watch these fan films, the more I get invested in these characters. And as I said, I really feel there was a good chemistry in this film that was shaky before. I don't want to say it was bad chemistry before, but the chemistry in this film seemed a lot better than it was in other films. And yeah, I can't wait for what's next.
For sure.
That's all the actors. So thank you guys.
Yep.
No problem. Anything anyone of you guys want to say, you lovely acting and cast crew members and so on, want to say before we sign off? Anything?
Yeah, one thing. Happy birthday,
Please.
Josh.
Yeah, happy birthday,
yes.
Josh.
Yeah, what are you, 29 now, Josh?
I'm 42.
No way.
I forgot. I didn't know how old I was.
So
My
it's-
wife had to tell me how old I was. I was like, It's 42.
42.
So it's the 13th anniversary of your 29th birthday. Got it. Okay.
Fair enough. That fountain of youth, I need to know where it is, mate. Honestly. Well, I'm only 3 years older than you, and I fucking feel ancient compared to you. You telling me you're 42, for fuck's sake. I need to get into that sort of like, Central America son of yours. Maybe that will sort me out. Anyways, I just want to tell everyone here who's new to NerdTube that we are doing a review of the Orville tomorrow, because we usually do it on Thursdays, but we're going to be doing it tomorrow instead, because we decided to give up our usual Thursday slot for the Orville for the fantastic Josh and everyone around him in the Avalon universe, and it definitely was worthwhile. But if you're new to our channel, please like, subscribe, share, all of that bollocks, and join us tomorrow for a live review of the Orville Season 3, Episode 9. And to everyone else here in the chat, as well as in our StreamYard right now, thank you all for joining us. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe, as I said earlier. And to everyone else, live long and prosper. Take care now, everyone.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
night. Take care.